What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk to you about Rezolve AI. I want to go over some of the data points, break it down what is moving it, and go over everything else that you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So Rezolve is up a very impressive 7.8%. 413 the high, 366 the low, and just shy of around 18 million shares being traded. So we are seeing a lot of volatility, but Rezolve seems very hellbound on just breaking higher. So I'm going to go over some of the technicals near the end of the video. As far as macro data, we don't really have that much. We have a couple of Fed speakers in about an hour and a half's time period where they'll be commenting on most likely the craziness that's happening in the broader market. So there's a lot of things really impacting a lot of growth stocks, especially the finance and fintech sector. We have them getting hit because of Trump wanting to cap the credit card interest to 10%. So that kind of came out left field. So the market's not really liking that all that much. Plus Powell kind of getting investigated. As much as a lot of people don't really like Powell, think that he should have really cut sooner, still, this seems very political. And so at the end of the day, you even have Janet Yellen really coming out saying that there's a lot of sketchiness happening behind the scenes, most likely being orchestrated by Trump. So market's not really liking that. Despite that, Rezolve is just, like I said, hellbound on really moving higher. Today, there hasn't been any official news, no press releases, nothing being posted on social media. It is just merely FOMO, a lot of hype, because tomorrow early, we do have that analyst and investor call. That's on January the 13th at 8:30 a.m. If you want, I can kind of live stream it if that floats your boat, because of course I'm not here to hype you up nor bring you down. I'll give you the actual good, bad, and the ugly from that. So if you want that, let me know. I can definitely do that. Aside from that though, looking at shorts, they are increasing 993,000 shares. So this is something I was kind of concerned over, and honestly I'm rather surprised based on this, because I would have anticipated shorts to actually return leading into the big event tomorrow. You never know, maybe in the second half of today that's where they'll start to return, but at the time of this video they're increasing almost about 1 million shares. So they're actually doing quite the opposite. They're trying their very best to slow Rezolve. 24.9% of the free floats being shorted versus be 29.57 million shares overall being shorted. DTC being at 1.73 days really does signal as well that shorts are fairly overextended. So tomorrow will be a very interesting day, and I'm kind of curious on what is going to happen with shorts and whether they actually do get squeezed out, either a certain percentage of them or they just double and triple down. One thing just to be aware of is there's only 45,000 shares available to be shorted. So that could also be one reason why Rezolve is moving higher, is big money might be buying it just for the purposes of lending stock out, because even during the pre-market it went from 200,000 to 250 to 400 down to 350 up to 400. All of that is because big money is kind of buying 50,000 increments, for instance, just for the purposes again of lending it out. So very interesting time. Looking at the options, 1.4 million in calls, 79,000 in puts, and then 50% of all the options being done are bullish in nature. But from a bull standpoint, you see a consensus for it to be roughly around 5. So that'd be pretty kick-ass, a very nice return on investment based on that. Bears are anticipating for it to be sub 350. So yeah, definitely there's a lot more upside from that. There's not really much hedging or any kind of speculation aside from this week. So it looks like bears are only trading for this week right now. Bulls are a little bit more optimistic. You can kind of see that they're also playing the week ending January the 30th, May the 15th. So bulls seem to be very much more active today. On the secondary market, only 3 transactions, 1 buy, 2 sells. So not really that much going on from the smaller institutions. On the dark pool, these are all the transactions. Again, a lot of these like 30,000 and 25,000, most likely that's hedge funds just buying for the purposes of lending out stock. But given how active shorts are, it is fair to assume that majority of these are linked to them. But right now with it at 396, it is right above this R1. So 394 will be that key kind of point to watch for today for it to hold. 353 is going to be the next strong support. And so if there is one of those types of scenarios where it's like buy the rumor and sell the news type of event, then 353 might be that key support level that you watch for. So just watch for 353 and then 394. Flip side, 420 followed by 461 is going to be the next strong target / resistance. So I did do a video over the weekend where I went over some very realistic expectations. So for instance, if Rezolve does come out and they raise their 2026 guidance, then in all fairness, yeah, you could see easily that 420 or potentially even 460 or maybe even higher than that. So we'll have to kind of wait and see how that does all play out. But getting back to the actual chart itself, things are looking pretty good. So it is right now, or it was testing that 100-day moving average. It most likely is going to be building up some good momentum to test it again. But if it is, for whatever reason, able to get above that, then things are going to get very, very real very fast. So we've seen Rezolve in the past that when things get going, things really get going. So yeah, it's I definitely, as much as I am hesitant and cautiously optimistic about Rezolve, as I've shared with you, but like I would never bet against it. I would never short it because yeah, anyone who shorted, especially here, this type of action here would easily bankrupt you unless you had appropriate stop losses. But definitely I would not short Rezolve whatsoever. So let me know your thoughts on Rezolve. Are you buying into kind of the hype? Are you selling? What's your expectations for tomorrow? Do you think that it will honestly move higher, or do you think it's going to be kind of one of those sell-off opportunities? One final thing, pop over to my Patreon if you're looking for some solid buy signals on stocks, options, crypto. Put out daily day trades, numerous swing trades, worthwhile to pop over there and check that out. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.